pay for that one, Malfoy. Eat slugs!
Say something!
Gastropoda is the largest class within the phylum Mollusca, containing 65,000 species of snails which have shells, shellless slugs, and conches, among other species. They can be found in marine, freshwater, and terrestrial environments and can be herbivorous, carnivorous, or parasitic. They are triploblastic, bilaterally symmetric, and are protostomes. Gastropods can be found around the world and are the second largest class of animals behind only insects. Even the area near the poles is home to certain species of gastropods. While not all gastropods have shells, if one is present, it is usually a single piece that is coiled at some or all stages of the life cycle. Additionally, gastropods are commonly known to be intermediate hosts of dangerous and deadly parasites.
Oh, dang nematodes!
A very important example of gastropods as intermediate hosts is the parasitic relationship between P. tenuis and the small and declining population of about 40 to 50 moose in Voyager National Park. This study focused on the habitats most suitable for the gastropod intermediate hosts of P. tenuis and moose. P. tenuis is a parasitic nematode that uses snails and slugs as an intermediate host and white-tailed deer as its definitive host. Moose are an aberrant host that, when accidentally infected, can be killed. Infected moose become weak and confused and often die indirectly due to predation or accidents.
The study took place on the Kabetogama Peninsula within Voyager National Park. Researchers chose 6 study sites from the most common ecotypes found on the peninsula. These 6 ecotypes were treed rock barren, northern shrub swamp, boreal hardwood forest, rich conifer swamp, northern pine forest, and northern spruce fir forest. Researchers from UMD wanted to determine the prevalence of nematode infection among gastropods, as well as habitats that have the highest density of gastropods. They laid out wet cardboard to collect gastropods in each of the environments. Gastropods were collected on 4 separate occasions at 5 sites in each of the 6 ecotypes. After collection, gastropods were stored in jars and identified using taxonomic keys.
The researchers found that overall gastropod density was highest in the mixed conifer deciduous forest type and lowest in the barren treed rock ecotype. Slug species were least likely to be found in swamp ecotypes. Treed rock barren and northern pine forests had the lowest snail densities based on the numbers of gastropods present on the cardboard strips. Not all of the gastropod species that were trapped and recorded were vectors for P. tenuis. In fact, only 7 of the 27 recorded species, or just over 25%, can serve as intermediate hosts for P. tenuis. Of these potential hosts, the slug species Daroceras laevae was by far the most frequently captured. D. laevae was also the most frequently captured of all the gastropod species, regardless of their status as a vector, representing 26% of total captures. The study found that gastropod density increased from July to September. Because most P. tenuis larvae are in the infective stage by early July, this increase in density can potentially cause more infections, though the authors cautioned that gastropod host infection varies seasonally in a manner that is not fully understood. Gastropods serve as intermediates for a number of different parasites, from P. tenuis to liver flukes to schistosomiasis. Studying these gastropod intermediates can therefore provide some valuable insight into variables impacting the life cycle of these parasites. Other studies have found that some gastropods are capable of defending themselves against nematode parasites by trapping them in their shells and killing them. Examining whether this is a defense mechanism that gastropods employ against P. tenuis would be an interesting future direction for this research. Additionally, as a result of climate change, white-tailed deer ranges are changing, and the length of the transmission period is increasing. All of this combines to provide an additional threat to an already declining moose population. It is therefore important to understand the life cycle of this parasite and its gastropod intermediate hosts in order to properly combat this disease.